I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's reading will be on the topic of messages from my ancestors. It appears as though the ancestors have been trying to get into contact with the collective a bit more than usual since Samhain. And I've noticed that they've popped up a few times in my most recent readings, and they've also been popping up in my own life. So I decided to dedicate a full video towards them and messages from them. So I will soon put up 4 images for you to pick from on the screen. I want you to not pick based on your race or anything like that. Just pick intuitively what picture of the ancestor is calling towards you. So you have 4 piles to choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello group number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with your first 2 cards before continuing to cast more for you. So what messages do your ancestors have for you? So I had a vision of a baby and some gold. So they are trying to send you some new information, and they're also trying to send you a new experience. Your first 2 cards are inner voice and whispers, and your underdeck energy is channeling. So they're actually actively trying to contact you, and I was very correct in what I said in the intro of feeling like they've been trying to get into contact with the collective since Samhain a bit more than usual. And definitely for this group, they've been trying to get in contact with you a lot, probably since about October, maybe mid-October, up until now. Up until now, meaning when I'm posting this video, and even maybe whenever you're watching this, if you're watching this a bit later in the future, because if you haven't been getting the signs around the Samhain portal, it appears as though they're lingering around to still try to bring forth some new information and a new experience that comes with this new information. So you need to listen to your inner voice and the whispers that you hear. So it's when you're quiet, when everything is quiet, you may actually hear yourself say something to you in a very calm and whisper voice, so this whispering fashion, and you may find it weird, like, did I just hear that? That is weird. Why did I think that? Because it's not going to sound like someone else talking to you. It's just going to sound like your own voice, because it's too silent. So you know when it's really silent that your brain will come up with sounds and stuff like that. So if you haven't been sitting in silence lately, definitely you need to do this. Like, you really, really need to do this. When you click off of this video, when you're done with your reading, the next thing you need to do is sit in silence for at least 20 minutes, at least. No music, no ASMR video playing in the background, no children screaming and laughing in the background, no one trying to call you. Turn off your phone. If you have to go into a separate room of the house, if you live with people, to get this silence, then do so, and let them know that you're unavailable for at least the next 20 minutes. But for most of you, I feel like you have already been hearing this. Like, I'm seeing some of you guys cooking. You're standing up, you're cooking, you're chopping some vegetables, and you're by yourself because everyone's out of the house. And you just hear like some random little whispers, and you're just like, what on earth? Like, what? This is so random. What is this? So this is how they're trying to get into contact with you. And it's very important that you connect with them and you understand the message that they're trying to bring to you, because this is attached to a new experience. It's a new physical experience, and it's a prosperous experience, a good one, because of that baby and that gold. So for some of you, this new experience could have something to do with increased finances and even getting pregnant again, if you've been trying to get pregnant again. But I will cast some more cards to clarify and sort of narrow down exactly what it is they're trying to tell you. So I will do that now. Okay, so this is a clip from pile 2 that I'm going to insert also into pile 1 to save myself some time, because I forgot to mention that even though in the intro I told you guys to don't worry about the race or what the person looks like, the ancestor that you picked in the intro, I do now want you to pay attention to whomever you picked, which ancestor you picked, because you may find that you actually do have that race of ancestors in your lineage, even though you're unaware of it, or the ancestor who is with you the most may resemble this person who you chose. So I just want to mention that if you're from pile 1, you're wondering why the cards changed, don't worry about it. Okay, starting off with your next level of cards here from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Guys, if you're in a romantic relationship, your ancestors are urging you to break up with this person, because this person is not being faithful to you. With this loyal heart here in the middle of this spread, though it came upright, it's flanked by all that glitters, and also flanked by not for you in the reverse. You guys are also fighting with this person with this never-ending story here card in reverse. Your ancestors are seeing a lot of the fights that are going on, and some of you guys are being gaslit right now. You're being gaslit by this person. This person might very well be a narcissist. You are not going crazy. Guys, listen to your intuition. You guys are highly intuitive, okay? You guys are highly intuitive here. And this is why you got the inner voice, the whispers, and the channeling card, because this is not only your ancestors, this is your intuition. And I feel like for months, your intuition has been trying to tell you that you're not going crazy, that this person has indeed been lying to you, and that they're actually being sketchy, and that this is actually not normal behavior to be going on in this relationship, but you've been overriding it because of the logical things, the logical part of your mind, and furthermore the logical things that this person is saying, because they themselves are very logical. They have a way with their words. They might very well be an air sign, the person you're dealing with, and you might very well be a water sign. It doesn't have to be, but these are the energies that I'm picking up. Your moon or your sun might be in a water sign, which is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and your partner's moon or sun might be in an air sign, that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That's what I'm picking up. But again, if it's not, don't worry about it. This is a general reading. And now during the Samhain portal, what happened is that your ancestors came through and they're trying to amplify your own intuition that has been happening previously for the last several months. And you're still not listening to it. So this is why the whispers have been sounding a little bit more odd to you lately, because your intuition is there. Your intuition has been telling you that something is up, but now the whispers sound a bit more odd. There's something about it that sounds a bit more odd. Maybe the messages, specifically what they're saying, or even it might be even the tone of it is a little bit off from your regular tone. It still sounds like you, but it might sound a little softer, or maybe a little bit slightly more foreign. It might have a foreign sort of tinge to it, or something about like a tinge to these new whispers is slightly different, which is why it's catching you off guard. And it's because it's your ancestors who are coming through, and they're actually actively trying to get this message to you very quickly before the veil thickens even more, and then you're less and less likely to hear them, and then you're going to have to rely more and more on your intuition, which of course is still going to be there, but you haven't been listening to it for the entire time. So this portal appears to still be slightly open. I'm not sure exactly. I don't pretend to be an expert on this, but the energies are still lingering. I don't think it completely closed after November 1st. It appears to be like there might be an extra 2-3 weeks or a month going both prior to Samhain and going both forward into November, where it's kind of like slightly thin but not the thinnest, which kind of makes sense when you think about it logically. Every time you get to a peak or a trough of anything, you still have a higher points or lower points getting to the peak or the trough, so it just makes sense logically. And this appears to be what's happening. They're still trying to get this message to you while the veil is still slightly thin, because like I said, once they leave, it's going to be just you and your intuition again, and like I said, you haven't been listening to it. So I'm really seeing romantic partnership here. I'm not seeing anything else. Mind you, you guys are highly intuitive, and this is a general reading. So if you thought of someone else, if you're not in a romantic relationship, if you thought of some other close, a friend or family member with whom you've been fighting a lot lately and with whom your intuition has been sparking up a lot, then, listen to your own intuition. This is a general reading. If it's not a romantic partner because you're not in a romantic relationship, then this is the person who your ancestors are trying to warn you about. This person is not being faithful to you. They're lying to you. They are gaslighting you. You're not going crazy. Okay, so I'm going to cast finally the last amount of cards from tarot. Okay, so is this person messing with your money? Because this is also in alignment here with that gold I saw in my vision at the beginning. We have the 5 of Pentacles and we have the 9 of Pentacles, and we also have that all that glitters card there. This person is messing with your finances in some manner. And they might be stealing money from you. Wherever they say that they're taking your money and investing it is not what they're doing with it. And also, if you're finding that a lot of their money, because if you guys are married or you guys just pull resources, you share your financial resources because you guys live together and you're in some sort of common law relationship, if you find that they're having some financial difficulty and you're kind of like, where is all your money going? And they're giving you some excuses, they're lying about it. So you're not going crazy. There is money missing, either from their pockets, their bank account, and you're wondering, where is this money to help pay the bills and stuff like that? Or if it's your own money and you're giving them some and you're wondering, is it really going towards where they're saying it's going towards? It's not. Mind you, some of it might be, but the majority of it is not going towards wherever it's supposed to be going towards. So there's money slipping through the cracks here. And I'm going to cast one more card, but I'm picking up intuitively and energetically that a lot of you guys, this money is going towards this person. Okay, what I was going to say before I pull that card, I was picking up from a lot of you guys, this money is going towards this person funding hookers because this person is already cheating on you. So a good chunk of you guys, this person, if you're wondering where is this money going, it's because they're either paying, they have a mistress on the side and they're buying them movie tickets, dinners, bags, shoes, clothes, other gifts. And others of you, it's hookers that they're paying. And with this card that I pulled, the 9 of Wands, some of you guys, this person is gambling or they're drinking. I'm seeing that there. I'm seeing them surrounded by a lot of debt, either through gambling or they might be involved in some sort of illegal activity. Again, it being sort of next to the Justice card. This person might be involved in some sort of undercover illegal activity, maybe drugs or something like that. And they owe some people money. Yeah, but I'm picking up like money is going towards funding some sort of addiction or some debt. But some debt that's accumulating because they're using money to increase the debt. So, that would be akin to gambling, because you use money to increase the gambling debt when you know what I mean? So it appears that it's not old debt, like say student loans or something like that. It's debt that's accumulating because they're taking money and putting it in somewhere that's causing more debt to accumulate. So hopefully that makes sense. I just got the 10 of Swords in reverse. It's not going to end here. This really needs to end. And they're not working on themselves. This person, you may already know of their problems. They have some sort of problem. And underneath the deck, I do have the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like they told you they're working on something. I'm really picking up that they told you they're working on something. Like they're either going to school or they told you they're in some sort of Alcoholic Anonymous program that they have to pay for, or there's something that they're supposed to be doing to better themselves with your money or with their money. And they're not doing it. They're not doing it fully. They might be doing it like 10 or 20%, but the other 80 to 90% is going elsewhere to increase their debt and to fund their addiction or their lies and their infidelity in some way. Whatever bad habit that they said they cut out of their life, it's not cut out. And whatever they said they're working on, they're not fully working on it because they're really in it heavily with this Devil card here. And with this Tower card, there's a real need for you to just cut this person loose because they're beyond saving at this point. You're not going to be able to save them. And this group is really coming off heavily as though you guys are all females. You don't have to be. If you're a male, you're probably an empath and you're probably a water sign again, like I said. Because it's like women tend to have a need to help people and fix people, especially males who they love. This person is beyond fixing. They are beyond fixing. So your ancestors are urging you to leave this person. Focus on yourself here with this Temperance card in reverse. This person is draining your energetic resources. They're taking advantage of your kindness. And also when you do finally leave this person, the longer you take to leave this person, the more trauma and hurt and pain and depression and sadness you're going to have to work through. So it's proportionate. It correlates. The longer you stay with this person, the more trauma and emotional issues you're going to have to work through before you can fully move on from them. So it's Two of Swords here. It's like you're blinded to being next to the Devil in reverse. This person is good at putting up an illusion. Again, I'm really picking up an air sign here. This person has a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius in their moon or their sun. I'm seriously. This person is seriously good at putting up an illusion here. And I just kind of split the deck and I got this Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is again giving me sort of this illusion energy, because also you have this guy watching him and he's kind of like pretending, look, I'm working. But it's like, is he really working? Like he's not. There's no food on the plate and there's no, like, why is he holding a book if he's supposed to be serving food? And you see how he's kind of looking at him from the side of his eye. So it's like you're watching him. He's supposed to be working on himself and doing something productive. And he's putting up this illusion like, hey, look, I'm working. And he's doing a lot of things. Like he's probably pretty busy. He has a schedule. Like he's probably out of the house at a certain time, back at a certain time. He has things to do maybe on the weekends. He's moving. I don't see him sitting on his ass. Mind you, this is a general reading. So for some of you guys, he could be. But for most of you guys, I'm not seeing him sitting on his ass. And you're watching him and you're seeing him moving around. And you're like, okay, he must be working on it. He must be doing some things. But he's not. He's not. He's doing other things. And here I just split the deck again. I see you here making, and this is you again chopping the vegetables that I saw in my vision. You're cooking for him. I see you seem to eat very healthily, a lot of greens and vegetables, because I did see you chopping vegetables, and here we have her in a garden of just leaves and vegetables and cabbage, whatever that is, lettuce. So as a side note, I see you guys loving red wine and loving vegetables. But yeah, I see you cooking for him and all that nonsense. And then here underneath that card, we have the Two of Cups. So you think that you guys have a good, stable relationship, and here you are cooking for him dinner and all that stuff. Meanwhile, he's here drinking with some other woman in the nighttime. You see how it's the nighttime? And here you are during the day, he's with you pretty much. And during the night, he's with someone else. Mind you, it could be reversed based on his schedule. Because, you know, at nighttime, he might need to be sleeping next to you. And during the day, he could be off with someone else. You know, take that with a grain of salt, the day and night sort of thing. But it appears like he's two separate. He has a family during the day or whatever. And then during the night, he's like drinking with some other people or something like that. Sleeping with some other people. Yeah, so I'm going to pretty much end that there. Let me just cast few more cards, see if there's any last thing that wants to come out. Okay, these two cards came out. Look, the Two of Cups came out again, and we have the Page of Cups here. And underneath the deck, again, I do have the Eight of Pentacles. That was there before. Let me see. Ancestors, what do you want to say about this? Okay, what I'm seeing, it appears as though one person is holding the cup. That's you. I'm seeing an unfair exchange here of love and devotion and emotions. One person is giving their all and the other person is giving just the minimum to appear as though they're giving an equal share. I'm also seeing like this is also a waste of your time, because it's a page here. It's like you should be the Queen of Cups, again, water sign. But here in this relationship, you're like a page, and this is because all your efforts are being drained. So in order for you to remain in the Queen state, the Queen of Cups state, whatever emotions, whatever water from your cup that you give to other people needs to be refilled equally to you so that your cup remains the size of the Queen's. But if that's not happening, then you're in this page energy. Even though you're actually a Queen of Cups, you're in this Page of Cups energy. So this person is draining your gifts. I'm seeing gifts. Again, stop giving this person money and gifts. I'm seeing that. And stop giving them your love. So I'm going to leave that there. Those are your messages from your ancestors. I hope that helped you and I hope it resonated. If you would like a personal reading or to donate, link is in the description, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to start off with just your first few cards to tune into what your ancestors would like to tell you. So before casting your cards, I had a vision of like a lot of needles stabbing someone, but not like in an actual gruesome way, just kind of like a pricking, like kind of like when you have pain, like a pain in your back or something like that. And then I had a vision after casting these cards of like a kind of vortex, but like a swirling distortion. So you guys have a distorted sense of self. Okay, we have this Divine Animals card next to Authentic Truth. Who you think you are is not really who you are. And this false sense of self has accumulated through years and years of pain and trauma and picking up a lot of other people's crap. Other people's ideas of who you should be and who a good person should be, or who a successful person should be, or an upstanding citizen should be, etc., etc. Society in general, parents, friends, all that jazz. That has influenced you more heavily than you are aware of. And also there's some trauma that I'm seeing, some pain, where you are acting from some sort of pain. And the thing is, your authentic self speaks to you through whispers, because I was told to pull an extra card for the last group round. You pulled 2 from this deck, and I was told to pull another one, and that one flew out. Whispers. It's your true voice speaks to you through whispers, but your false self speaks to you much louder. This is because it has more gravity to it. And this gravity is because of it's denser. It's denser. I don't know how to explain it. And because it's denser, you hear it louder and clearer, and it appears to be more real to you. But it's stemming from false identity that other people put on you, and also from some sort of trauma. So you guys are acting out from some sort of trauma, even though you don't think you are, because you guys are coming off rather intelligent here. Very logical and rational people. I mean, of course, you guys are intuitive if you're watching pick a card readings, but you guys are coming off more like logical, like, all right, when you need to make a decision, it's kind of like, all right, A, B, and C, what are the pros and cons of each? And then we'll go with whichever one seems more logical, more practical, more rational. And it has less to do with your intuition when it comes to picking things. And another thing I'm picking up is that you may feel like you are picking things based on your intuition or based off of what you truly want, what your heart truly wants, but it's not your heart. It's like that level of pain. So it is your heart, but it's your heart distorted. So like if your heart chakra is spinning in the wrong direction, and yes, you are choosing these things from your heart center when you think you are, but it's your heart center spinning in the wrong direction, or technically this way. And so it's a distorted choices. Hopefully that makes sense. So if you find, or if you have been finding lately, because of the Samhain portal that's still slightly opened, if you've been finding lately that you've been hearing things that are contradictory to decisions that you've already made, and you're wondering, what the heck is this? it's actually your ancestors trying to amplify what your authentic self has already been trying to tell you for, months before the Samhain portal. So now it's probably bugging you more than it was prior to October, because now it's a little bit more persistent, because like your ancestors are amplifying it. They're being more persistent with it. And it's probably bugging you more, and you may find like you're going a little crazy whereas you're usually very rational. You guys may have you're coming off strongly like you have an earth and or a air sign in your moon and your sun position. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, it appears as though you have one of those in both your moon and your sun. So, okay, I'm going to cast some more cards from the next deck and see what else they would like to tell you. Okay, so this is a clip from Pile 2 that I'm going to insert also into Pile 1 to save myself some time, because I forgot to mention that even though in the intro I told you guys to don't worry about the race or what the person looks like, the ancestor that you picked in the intro, I do now want you to pay attention to whomever you picked, which ancestor you picked, because you may find that you actually do have that race of ancestors in your lineage, even though you're unaware of it, or the ancestor who is with you the most may resemble this person who you chose. So I just want to mention that if you're from Pile 1, you're wondering why the cards changed, don't worry about it. And for Pile 2, let's continue. So this is reiterating everything that I just said for you guys. This exchanging gifts here, it's you guys are trying to, there is a need here for you to switch back into your authentic self. I'm seeing like there's a lot here of accumulation of earthly stuff that has nothing to do with you. It's like a lot of masks that you're very loyal to because you think that it's you, but it's not you. We have this loyal heart in reverse, and we have the regeneration. You're going through a period here of transformation. This makes complete sense that it's happening during November, which is Scorpio season, which is literally the sign of regeneration and transformation and death and rebirth. So you're going through it heavily during Scorpio season. And this is why you guys have been feeling off lately. And I feel like it's happening mentally because, like I said, you guys seem to be usually very logical, but lately you've been finding that you're a bit more confused, that you're a bit more indecisive about things when you're usually very decisive. And this is because there is an energy here assisted by your ancestors and also your higher self, your true self, is attempting to extract the false part of yourselves in order to reveal the true part of yourself, like trying to rip off those masks so that your true face can be there and emerge, and that could be the true face from which you make all of your further decisions for the rest of your life. Or at least, well, for the rest of your life, but definitely for the rest of the year until the next Samhain portal opens up again next year so that they can help you some more. So it's rather imperative that while this portal is still slightly open, because like I mentioned in Pile 1, even though the portal was on the 31st to the 1st, like everything, there peaks and troughs, there's still going to be a period of when it's getting to the peak or getting to the trough where it's still higher than or lower than usual. So that means a few weeks before the 31st in October, you should have felt a shift, and you should still be feeling this shift into November. And this is because the veil is still slightly thin, even though it's not the thinnest point. So they're still actively trying to help you with this so that you can make better decisions for the remainder of the year. When I say the remainder of the year, I mean from November, or from pretty much October 1st, 31st all the way to October 31st, 2022. Of course, if you're watching this in the future, it's whenever the next Samhain is. So that year, that's what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, that's not for you. You may be finding that you're having a lot of second thoughts about your job and relationships, not just romantic, but also friendships. I'm picking up, but it also could be romance. There's something about people and places and things who you are loyal to. So jobs, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, where you were starting to question whether or not you actually align with these people. And it's probably confusing you because you're kind of like, why am I feeling this randomly? And with this chaos and conflict card, it's like, again, one part of yourself is the true part of yourself is trying to emerge, and your ancestors and these scorpionic energies here during Scorpio season are trying to break apart these false beliefs and these false sense of self. That you guys are pretty much kind of like teenagers again, going through that stage of trying to find out who you truly are. And this is feeling like it's kind of the same energy of like when you just leave high school and when you're starting to become, when you're an adult, that transition between like about 17 and 21. I'm not saying this is your age. I'm just saying this is the same kind of energy where you've been a certain way for most of your life because you've been around these people, and you've also been influenced heavily by your parents and your teachers, and you've been stuck in this institution, and you're only around these people because they were the same age as you. And then you go off to college, university, or you go off into the working force, and you probably leave home and live by yourself or live with roommates. And then you're starting to slowly shed some of these old personality traits that are actually weren't you. It's just because you adopted them to fit in with these group of people in high school and to fit in with your family at home. And now that you're separated from these people, you're starting to slowly shed these old personality traits that have nothing to do with you. They're not really you. So this is the energy that's happening here. You guys may very well be in that age range, but even if you're not, I'm just saying this is the energy that's happening right now. So if you're starting to feel confused, like lately from about October to well into the end of November, if you've been feeling confused, this is exactly why. So let's cast from the last deck to close out your reading. Judgment. Seriously, guys, seriously. The Judgment card is literally about a call from the Archangel Gabriel to get you to reemerge as your true self. Rebirth. A rebirth into your true self. It's like no longer, it's like it's calling the soul. So the soul now is being separated from the body, from the shell that pretty much where you were clouded. Your vision was clouded and you thought you were some way. And then when your soul is sucked out of your body, then you're like, oh crap, this is truly who I am. This is what's happening here. The Wheel of Fortune, it's trying to undo years of this conditioning. You have some sort of conditioning. And it's trying to bring in a new era, bring you into your true self, your life purpose. But in order to do that, it's right now it needs to go backwards in a way. I mean, it is technically moving you forward, but an analogy here that I'm picking up, it's kind of like in order to get you to move forward, it needs to go backwards and undo a lot of things. Like when you're writing something on, say, Microsoft Word, and you have to hit the back button several times because you wrote like 2-3 sentences that were just wrong. So you're writing an essay. You gotta just keep hitting back, and you delete the whole paragraph, and then you start typing again, and then you redo the paragraph. This is what's happening right now. You're getting a lot of back buttons, and you're kind of, say you're the actual letters or you're the actual paragraph, and you and the person who's writing is your true self, who's controlling the computer, and all you're seeing is letters and sentences and words being deleted off of you, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? Like, I thought this was gold, what I wrote. This is perfect. This is going to give us an A+. Why is this person deleting this? Why is this being deleted? I didn't agree to this being deleted. I'm so confused right now. Like I thought this was it, what I wrote. But no, that's not it. High Priestess, your intuition is increasing here. Okay, you again with that whole logical mind that I picked up. Again, guys, air signs here, Geminis, Libra, Aquarius, you guys have a strong air sign placement. You may also have a strong Pisces placement. I'm not really picking it up in the big three, the ascendant, sun, and moon, although it could be. There's some sort of Pisces placement or Scorpio placement with that regeneration card. in somewhere, I'm not an astrologist, I can't tell you exactly where, and of course this is a general reading, but there's some Pisces or Scorpio placement somewhere in your chart that's very significant, that's being activated right now. It could be astrologically in terms of the general collective, but the fact that we're actually in Scorpio season, like I said, and we might be in some sort of Pisces era or something. Again, I don't know, but if we are, and you happen to know that we are, then, you know, it may not be directly in your chart, but it might be just the collective energies. We might be in some sort of Pisces energy on top of course, the Scorpio season. Okay. Yeah, you need to get back to your true self. So this is what and this is your ancestor here. You may have a raven as a totem. You may be hearing and seeing a lot of ravens and crows recently. Pay attention to what you're thinking when you hear or see a raven or a crow. That's for some of you guys. And here's a raven again. Birds in general, I'm just going to extend it to birds in general, again, because birds are very, you know, they fly higher. They see through larger perspectives, and they also transform, of course, like everyone, from baby stage and egg stage, all that kind of stuff, until they're actually able to fly. And we do have this divine animals card here. So there may be something about animals being the signs that your ancestors like to use to get to you, because it might be either they just like to use animals, or it might be because that's the easiest thing that you understand. Because again, with this whole logical mind thing that you have going on here, there's something about animals. You guys may have a pet, or you guys may work around animals, and it seems like you're able to pay attention a bit more, or animals catch your attention more than these whispers. These whispers that you hear, to you, they feel sort of dissonant, like, what is this? And you're over analyzing it, because you guys are coming off heavily analytical. But when something is off with animals, like you see birds in the sky flying in a weird direction, back and forth, or you just start hearing crows like crowing outside your window, or a little bird just like flies on a tree near where you're sitting, or a squirrel just like runs past you, like super close to you, and you're just like, what the heck? You don't overanalyze these things, you just accept them, though you might not know. And my ears are ringing, so this is true for a lot of you guys. You might not know what the heck it means. You might not even think that they really have a higher meaning. But the point is, when these things happen, you notice them because you're really attuned to animals, and you don't overanalyze them, and you don't rationalize them. So this is why your ancestors are using animals a lot to get their signs to you. So now you need to pay more attention and try to figure out what these animals, what these signs, their behaviors and stuff like that, the patterns, are actually trying to tell you, because they're not random coincidences. So now we need to pay more attention to them, because like I said, it's easier for you to pick up on them, because you're not dismissing them and overanalyzing them. We have the Four of Pentacles. I'm seeing that there as you trying to hold on to some old identity. Look at this. The Seven of Swords in reverse. You guys are trying to hold on to some old identity that's trying to leave you. Something is false. It's deceit. It's deceitful here. And underneath the deck, we do have the Eight of Wands in reverse, but it is, again, more ravens and crows. More ravens. And they're flying. Release. You need to release your true self. Guys, pay attention to animals, specifically crows and ravens, the next month at least. Okay, so yeah, that's what your ancestors are trying to get to you. They're trying to help you to get back to your true self, so that you can make better decisions that are more in alignment with you. Because when this portal completely closes, it's going to be harder for them to get to you and help you out. And then you might have another full year up until Samhain again of the next year, of you making poor decisions again, and you hanging around people and staying in jobs where you have no business being. So in order for you to evolve quicker and get to your intuition and your life purpose here, we need to quickly hit the back button and keep deleting this bad paragraph that's grammatically incorrect and doesn't make any sense. And that's going to get you a C- in class if you hand it in as your essay. So we need to quickly delete it until in this short period of time, so that for the rest of the year from now until the next Samhain, you can write out something that's more authentic, that's actually going to get you an A in class when you hand it in. Again, I'm speaking hypothetically here, metaphorically here. So this is what's happening. So go along with it. If you're feeling inclinings like this job is not in alignment with me, these friends, the place where I live is not in alignment, this girlfriend, this boyfriend is not in alignment, these personality traits that I have, these ways of thinking, these thoughts that I have are not in alignment, like I don't really feel like this way anymore, these things that I believe, go with it. Pay close attention to them, and I would actually write them down, again, because you guys are highly analytical. I would write them down because, like I said, when this portal completely closes, that doesn't mean the signs are going to completely end, but it's going to be harder for you to pick up on them, and your analytical mind is going to be back at the forefront again, like really, really strong again. So write them down, even if they don't make sense, even if you're hearing, oh, I think I should like move cities, or I think I should change schools or change programs, even though you're kind of like, well, this doesn't make sense because this program is going to make me a lot of money when I graduate. Write it down. Just write it down. Because like I said, and when this portal completely closes, it's going to be harder for this to come through to you, and you're going to have more time to look at your list later on and go through it and just really just meditate on them and try to figure out why it is that your intuition and your ancestors were trying to tell you that these things were out of alignment and that they needed to be changed. Okay, so those are your messages. I hope that helps you and I hope it resonated. If you would like a personal reading or to donate to the channel, link in the description, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So one thing I want to mention is that in the intro, I did say, don't worry about the picture, trying to line it with your race or whatever. You just pick intuitively. But I do want to mention that the picture that you chose from, you should actually pay close attention to it, because you may actually find that the race of the ancestor that you chose is actually a part of your genetic makeup, even though you're not aware of it. Or one of the main ancestors who are with you and who are guiding you looks similar to that person. Even if they're of a different race, they have a similar look to this person. So pay attention to the picture that you chose from. So I'm going to start off with just these cards, and then I'm going to move on to the other decks. Starting off with this first row, we have soulmating, expansion, enlightenment, and visualize. And I do want to mention underneath the deck, you will have light beings. So listen here. You guys are starseeds, okay, or light workers. But most of you guys here are starseeds, and your soul origin is from other planets. You guys are on your path towards true enlightenment in this incarnation. Most of you guys, at least 80% of you guys. I'm trying to keep this general because this is a general reading, but most of you guys are your soul is on path to true enlightenment, meaning that you will not reincarnate on Earth when you die, when you're done here. Okay. And with this light beings card underneath the deck, this is telling me that the ancestors who are guiding you are not only the ancestors of your line, your bloodline on this earth, but are also ancestors from your bloodlines and your soul tribe from other planets and other constellations and other incarnations and other planets and other star systems. Because your soul originates from there, most of your ancestors will actually come from other planets, and less of them will actually come from Earth. So you actually have a mixture of extraterrestrial ancestors and earthly ancestors who are assisting you. So you guys, like I said, are on the path, most of you guys, your soul is on the path towards true enlightenment in this incarnation right now. Now, with the visualize card coming out after the enlightenment, what I am seeing is that at some point when you reach a certain level of evolution, you're going to be able to visualize a picture in your head of what you want, and almost instantly that is going to come. That's going to be your reality. Now, I know this is what the law of attraction teaches, visualize, make vision boards, and then this is going to come through and come true. But you'll find that with most people, when they make the vision boards and they visualize, when you hear the success stories, it's like, I made this vision board 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and then everything came to pass. Now, 3 years later, everything that was on that old vision board has come to pass. This is amazing. I'm not saying that this is not great. But what I'm telling you is that after you reach it, there's a certain level here of enlightenment and evolution that once you hit that level, you're going to be able to visualize something in your mind, or if you want, you can put it on a vision board if you want, but just you're going to be able to think about it in your mind, and very quickly it's going to come to pass. So something that would normally take other people, we'll say 2 years to come to pass, might take you only 6 months to come to pass. Something that would normally take other people, we'll say 6 months to come to pass, might take you a month. So things are going to speed up significantly for you. It's going to be almost instantaneously, to the point where things that might, again, you can keep going, things that might take people 3 weeks to come to pass might take 3 days for you, or a week max, not even. So it's going to be very, very quick, and the delay, and you're going to be able to see the cause and effect of what you visualize and your life. Because now, of course, this happens to us, but because the delay is so lagging, like an old computer from like the 90s or something, because it's lagging so much, it's hard for regular people to put 2 and 2 together to see like, oh, I'm living in this home, I'm living in this apartment, or I have this job because of something I thought about like 2 years ago, or a year ago, or even 6 months ago. It's hard for us to correlate that because of the long lag. But after you reach a certain level, there's a certain level that you're going to hit here when you pretty much reach enlightenment. And the lag is going to be almost non-existent. So you're going to easily see the correlations. These things are going to happen within a time frame that you're going to be able to remember the time that you visualized it. So because like a lot of times when you watch and hear these law of attraction and vision board success stories, you hear them say, I actually forgot about this. And it's actually when I went back to the old vision board and I pulled it out the closet that I saw, oh my God, my kitchen looks just like the kitchen that I pinned on that vision board, that I glued to that vision board. You'll actually hear them say stuff like that. But with you guys, after you reach a certain level, what happens is that it's going to happen so quickly that there's not going to be enough time for you to forget about it. So you're going to easily remember about it. It's not going to happen. You're going to be like, oh my God, I completely forgot that I visualized that, or I forgot that I scripted that, or I forgot that I put that on my vision board. You're going to easily remember it. So here with the soul mating and the expansion card, you guys are coming into alignment with your true self. This is weird. It appears like your soul path in this lifetime was to forget who you are and then remember who you are. I mean, I guess that kind of is it that is it for everyone. But for you guys, it appears to be more significant because it's happening in a shorter period of time. So everything is much more amplified. So it's like with other people who are earthbound, spirits who originate from earth, it takes several incarnations or dozens or hundreds, I'm not sure, but it takes a long ass time from the time that they come here and forget who they are until the time when they finally remember and hit enlightenment. For you guys, this appears to be happening just within a few incarnations. If not, this is the only one. Like I can't tell you for sure, but the number that's coming to my head is 3. So for most of you guys, there appears to be 3. You might have only been here like 3 times. This might be the 3rd time that you're on earth, but take that with a grain of salt. This is a general reading, and I just picked that number up. And 3 versus, say, for example, 30. For other people, for example, we see how everything's going to happen much more speedily for you guys. So everything is happening like on turbo time with you. So the thing is, you cannot cling to old paradigms. No one should do this, but for you guys, it's even more imperative that you do not do this. This part of the reading is slightly reminding me of the previous pile, because with that previous pile 2, their ancestors were helping them to shed old paradigms and old beliefs that they have about who they truly are, their personalities, because they had a lot of masks on them that they had accumulated over the years, and they were shedding those masks to get back to get back to who they truly were. This part of your reading appears to be in alignment with that old group, but with you guys, it happens more often than this old group. So the old group, it appears like they're in the significant stage of their life where they were once one person up until this age, and now they need to reinvent themselves. For you guys, this appears to be happening like pretty much every 3 months, or a maximum every year. Every year on your solar return, there is a significant shedding period that happens, a shedding process that happens. Whereas for other people, maybe this might happen every 10 years or something like that. For you guys, it appears like every solar return, there's a significant shedding that happens. And you may have smaller sheddings that are still significant, like every 3 months. So it's more imperative that for you guys, that you don't hang on to old paradigms and old beliefs. I'm going to turn on the light because for some reason the sun just went down. For you guys, it's even more imperative that you don't hang on to these old masks, we'll call them, that are trying to shed, because everything's happening much more faster for you guys. So you don't have time. Basically, to put it plainly, you don't have time to hang on, to be in that 4 of Pentacles energy where you're hanging on to old paradigms and old belief systems and old personality traits that are no longer in alignment with you, because you're evolving so quickly that by the time another 3 months comes around, you're shedding something else. So if you wait and you try to postpone that 3 month, that shedding we'll call it at point 0, if you try to extend that and say you're still holding on to that by the time point, we'll call it 3, because 3 months comes around, you're going to have twice the amount of stuff to shed. Whereas, like I said, with other people, of course, every solar return, they have some shedding that goes on, but it's coming off like everyone's solar return every year, the shedding that they have to go through appears to be happening for you guys, like say every 3 months. So, you can use that. If it's helping you, it's helping you. If it's confusing you, just don't worry about it. What you need to take from this is that it's happening more rapidly with you guys. So you do not have the time that other people have to hold on to things that are trying to leave you. Okay. And once again, like I said, you have multiple species of ancestors. So it's not just people from your bloodline in this incarnation. And that might also be because you have less incarnations on Earth. So whereas other people might have a lot, like they'll have enough ancestors helping them, not only from their bloodline in this incarnation, but other old bloodlines from past incarnations. Because you have so little here, it's like in order to make up for that, you have more from these other star systems. And also just the fact that your soul resonates with them more. You may find that you feel like you're the black sheep of your family here, and that's not coincidental. You actually don't really fit in here. So yeah, I'm going to cast your other cards from the other deck. Let's see what else they would like to tell you. I always have one group that goes pretty long, and you guys, it's been already like 12 minutes and I didn't even cast the second line yet. So this is going to be the long group. So yeah, that round and round, you have something that needs to be let go. And I think this is what your ancestors are trying to help. Yeah, this is what your ancestors are trying to help you with right now. Because like I mentioned with the other groups, it appears as though, yes, of course, during Samhain, October 31st and November 1st, the portal is the biggest, and also the veil is the thinnest. But like with everything, even, logically, when you think of peaks and troughs, the curve that it takes to get to the peak or the curve that it takes to get to the trough themselves are also higher or lower than regular. So basically, maybe about a month or 3 weeks before Samhain, so during October, and like maybe about another 3 weeks or a month after November 1st, so like during the rest of November, if you're watching this when I'm posting this in November, the veil is still relatively thin. Of course, not the thinnest, but relatively thin. And the portal is still relatively open. So this is why I did feel like everyone's ancestors were trying to get into contact with them pretty urgently. And they're what they're trying to do is they're trying to actively get it through your head that you need to stop hanging on and clinging on to things that are trying to release. You guys, I would be surprised if you do not have a Scorpio in a very strong placement, a moon, a sun, an ascendant, or a north node. I would be very surprised if you don't have a Scorpio in one of those, because you guys need the rebirth, the death, and the reincarnation cycle energy to be a part of you, so that you can do things quicker. So you don't cling to things. You can't. I don't see you having a lot of earth in those 4 placements. There's something about, you might have a lot of fire there and Scorpio there, because it needs to be faster with you guys. You may also find that your energy is very fiery, even regardless of what signs you have in those placements. You guys need to pull on fire energy and scorpionic energy. And to top it off, because we're in Scorpio season right now when I'm posting this, and when the veil is still slightly open and when the portal is still slightly open, we also have Scorpio energy on top of it helping you with this. So you have the energy of the Scorpios, and you also have your ancestors helping you, a lot of shedding. So this is kind of slightly in alignment with the last group. But with you guys, this is more significant because this is happening much faster. It happens in cycles that keep repeating, and they're much faster, and it's more significant. So if you were kind of feeling drawn to the second group, but you ended up picking this one, this is why, because it's more significant for you guys. And you guys, like I said, are star seeds, and you have alien ancestors helping you. Although to them, we are aliens. Yeah, you need to move in some new direction here. It's like you guys get spun in some sort of cycle, and there's a portal every, I keep picking up 3 months, but definitely every solar return, there's a big portal. And this is especially significant if you guys are Scorpios here with a Scorpio sun. Your birthday is around here, so it's correlating, it's aligning with not only your solar return but also the Scorpionic season. There appears to be some sort of some cycle here, and now they're trying to get you to get off of this ride, like a merry-go-round, and they're trying to get you to get off of the merry-go-round before, like I said, that portal ends. And with this deep knowing card, you guys are highly intuitive. So, but the problem is with this never-ending story here in reverse, and it being next to co-create, there seems to be an issue here with you trusting the universe and trusting your guides and your ancestors and stuff. And honestly, it's probably because you're always in this round and round energy. So, and also this round and round energy always seems to be contradicting this deep knowing energy. So intuitively, because you guys are highly intuitive, again, a strong Scorpio or maybe a Pisces placement you guys have, because you guys are highly intuitive, you're picking up the fact that things should be moving in a certain direction, i.e. fork in the road. But because of this circular merry-go-round, super fast merry-go-round energy, you feel like what you're feeling intuitively is not aligning with your reality. So therefore, you end up getting a lot of trust issues. Okay, so intuitively, you may be hearing, oh, I'm supposed to be in this sort of career, for example. Let's try to use something concrete. I'm supposed to be in a career that pays me, we'll say $20 an hour. Let's just keep it very concrete. But you're constantly only aligning with jobs that pay you 15 an hour. So you have your intuition on one side that's telling you actually you're supposed to be making 20 an hour. And then, but you're always in the cycle of getting hired and only called back and working in jobs that pay 15. So then you end up having these trust issues with the universe and trust issues with your own intuition, because you're kind of like, what the heck is going on? What the F? Because it's like, if this is supposed to be happening, why is this happening? Why is this still happening if this is supposed to be happening? So there's a trust issue that you guys have. And underneath the deck, we do have the community card. So this is giving me twofold. Not only do you have some sort of trust issue with your spiritual team, but your spirit guides are also trying to get you to change your environment physically. So a job, a home, a neighborhood, a place where you live, a location, a group of friends even. There's something significant that needs to change, that during this portal that's happening, this new either solar return or this new 3-month period, there's something that needs to be changed. And you're still in that environment, you're still in that job, you're still around those people, you're still in the same home or the same location. And it's starting to frustrate you, because you're kind of like, well, if I'm supposed to be gone by now, then why the heck am I still here? And if I'm still here because I'm supposed to be here, then why the heck are all the signs of the universe and my intuition and pick a cards telling me that I'm supposed to be somewhere else where I'm not? And then to top it off, we have the spirit guides and these ancestors telling me, oh, trust us. Like, what do you mean trust you? When 1 minute you're telling me I need to be somewhere else that's better, and the next minute it seems like you're blocking me when I'm trying to move somewhere else that's better. So let's keep going. Okay, we have the Strength card kind of flipped upside down, but it was weird. And we have this Six of Pentacles again, kind of flipped upside down, but weird. But I'm seeing the same message that I just said. It's like you're trying to be strong, you're trying to be confident. And I did have a vision. I forgot to mention the visions that I had before casting your cards. And I did have a vision of a lion with you guys. I did. You guys may have a Leo placement in a prominent place. Again, fire energy. I did have a vision of a lion. I also had a vision of you falling off of a cliff, but then your parachute going off, and then you falling on a grass, like a lot of grass and flowers, like a field of flowers and grass. I also had a vision of a sword, and here it is. A sword, and it was a sword of like protection, a sword that you were supposed to wield because you're a warrior. Kind of like a sword of Xena or King Arthur. That's what I was picking up. And here's a sword, and here's a lion. I did have a vision of a lion in the field, and it was roaring. And what I picked up from that is that you have a lot of things in your outside world, your reality, that's like yelling at you pretty much. It could be people, but it's also mainly situations that are yelling for your attention. And they also appear to be more real and more fierce and more powerful than what you know intuitively that you're supposed to be doing. But you can't forget that you have this sword, because I did see the sword, remember? And here it is again. You have the sword, so these things can't hurt you. If a lion actually tries to attack you, if you have a sword this big and you aim it right, you're going to impale it. So even though these things appear to be yelling at you for your attention in the 3D realm, you need to pay more attention to your mind, your intuition. This is coming up underneath the Deep Knowing card. Another thing I'm picking up again with that Six of Pentacles in reverse. And look, we got the Nine of Pentacles. Something is trying to come through. More money is trying to come through. And you know what's funny? That random example I gave about the job might very well be, again, we got another sword, might very well be what's happening. Something along those lines, where you know you're supposed to be doing something better, but you're still stuck in the same job or making the same look. And I'm saying look like you can see it, but an ancestor just like brushed my thumb here. So this is definitely true for some of you guys. This has to do with a job for a lot of you guys. your career, the way you make your money. With the Nine of Pentacles coming up, a lot of you guys are supposed to be self-employed, but at the very least, you're supposed to be making much more money than you're making now. So I'm just gonna leave, like, you know, put that out there, because I did see that a few times. Here the Chariot. Some information is coming to you, and it appears to be coming in very quickly, and it has something to do with your finances. And we do have the Seven of Pentacles underneath the deck, and underneath that we do have the World card. So you guys, there's something here about movement, physical movement, moving locations, and also switching jobs. This seems to be the two main focuses of your ancestors during this portal right now. There may also be other things, but the two main focuses that they appear to be focusing on is getting you set up financially for the remainder of the year. When I say the remainder of the year, I don't mean 2021. I mean from October 31st Samhain to the next Samhain. So whenever you're watching this, if you're watching this when I upload it, it would be the 2022 Samhain, that year. We're trying to get you set up to earn more money, and to also live in a nicer environment, because I did see you landing on a field of grass and flowers, whereas you were originally on a cliff that was barren. So the money that you make will probably come from you moving. Here we have the Hierophant card. It'll probably come from you moving. We do have the Chariot again. So if you've been thinking about moving locations, you're not crazy. You should. But you need to tune into your intuition to figure out, to find out where you should be moving to. And don't be so quick to like run and try to move somewhere because your intuition is telling you to move somewhere. You have to wait for more information to come through. Again, here, more information to come through to tell you specifically where you need to move, and specifically maybe what job. Again, if you're trying to quickly apply for a new job because you feel like you should be in a new one, wait until you receive this information of what job this should be, or what business venture this should be. If you're trying to start your own business, there's something about you getting information intuitively, of course, almost instantly, it coming out kind of close to enlightenment, but then trying to quickly, here with the Chariot, trying to quickly get it done, but ahead of time. And it's funny because she's sitting here on an hourglass, if you see. So it's like you guys seem to be rather impatient. There's something about a lag here in between you receiving intuitive information and the time it takes for it to actually come to pass. I did mention it up here. There's something about a lag that's pissing you off, and that's giving you trust issues with the universe and with your spirit guides and with your ancestors. There's a lag between you knowing that something needs to change and it actually happening, and you being stuck in the old cycle, in the old situation. That is pissing you off. You're becoming impatient, and it's giving you trust issues. So keep that in mind. And that might be another reason why you're constantly trying to cling on to the old thing. Because there's something about you. It's not necessarily, for most of you guys, look. I mean, can we get any more clear than this, that you guys need to move? You guys need to move. And you guys will be moving very soon. What was I saying previously? What I was saying is that it's not so much that you guys are trying to cling on to the old thing because you want to stay in those old jobs or those old homes, neighborhoods, whatever it is. It's that you guys are trying to hold on to some form of control. It's also because, again, because of this whole cycle and renewing and regeneration and rebirth, getting you to enlightenment faster, because everything's happening faster, like I said, for this group. The amount of things that you're letting go is not equivalent to the speed at which you're evolving. So whereas other people, like I said, other people would have a significant shedding every year, and you have their equivalent every 3 months, and by the time you get to your year, it's like maybe their 4-year period, for example. Because it's more significant, but in a shorter period of time, what you're kind of letting go of for other people would be enough. Like say you're holding, like say we're doing like the kind of 4 of coins, 4 of Pentacles energy here. So say you have 4 pentacles, 4 coins. Normally at this period of time, people can let go of 1 and keep the 3, and that will be what they needed to do. For you guys, you need to let go of all 4. So what you're trying to do is let go of 1, maybe 2, but it's not enough because like I said, because this is happening faster, you need to therefore let go of more because it's bigger. I hope this is making sense for you guys. So that sort of you holding on to the cycle that I'm seeing is not so much you holding on to everything. It's just that you're not letting go of enough because the transition is bigger here. It's like that example I gave of you supposed to be earning 20 an hour that you heard here, but you were still earning 15. Perhaps it's not even that. Perhaps it's like, let's say you're supposed to be earning 30. But you're like, okay, I'm going to let go of this 15 an hour and I'm going to go apply to something that pays 20. But because things happen much more faster for you, for other people, this would be fine. This would make sense. But because things happen faster for you, you're actually supposed to jump from 15 an hour to 30 an hour, for example. And because you're trying to stop at 20, because this makes sense logically, this is a problem for you. Again, that's like you letting go of the 1 coin and keeping the 3 instead of letting go of all 4 of them. I really hope this is making sense for you guys. So this is why if you guys are feeling like the universe is working against you, or if what you do is never enough, this is why it feels like what you do is never enough, because it isn't. So let's see, anything else? Yeah. And I was talking about the 4 of Pentacles, and we have the 4 of Swords. Again, about foundations, building new foundations. But for you guys to build this new foundation, you need to be in a meditative state. You need to control your emotions. You need to be in a meditative state, and you need, for this new thing to come in. This, guys, it really appears to have something to do, look, and this is peeking out of the deck. This has something to do with money, finances, and security for you guys. And there's also an undertone of love here, because underneath the deck we do have the Lovers, and I have the Soul Mating card here. There's also an undertone of love, but the main thing is finances here. And expanding your finances, your financial stability, your way of life, your lifestyle. We do have the 9 of Pentacles again here, and there 6 of Pentacles here, and there's also an undertone of love. So for you guys need to be in a meditative state. You need to trust your spirit guides more and your ancestors more. And you need to just allow the new large pentacle to come through instead of trying to say, okay, look, guys, I'm going to give you 1. I'm going to give you 2 max. I'm going to hold on to these 2. And my ears are ringing here. So this is definitely true for a lot of you guys. Instead of you saying, I'm going to give you 1, maybe 2, I'm going to hold on to the other 2 pentacles. And you give me this big one. They're going to say, nah, because this big one is actually the size of the 4 small ones that we would get from the 4 of Pentacles card. Because if you look at the 6 of Pentacles here, see how small they are? I mean, technically way more than 4 would fit into this ace. And that may very well be what's happening with you guys. But for simplicity purposes, let's just pretend that 4 of these fit perfectly into this ace. If you're trying to say, now I'll just give you 1 or 2, and they can't give you this big ace until you let go of all the 4 so that you have enough space for this ace here. Yeah, so what they're trying to help you with is shedding. A lot of shedding and money. They're trying to make you rich, essentially. Trying to make you wealthier, significantly wealthier, more well off, more financially stable, more content and peaceful. And there is some sort of undertone of love here, but this is taking a back seat in this reading, but it is popping up, so it's significant. And with the 10 of Pentacles, they're trying to give you, your ancestors are trying to give you some abundance that's owed to your lineage, and that's especially owed to you. And I just looked down, I'm like, oh my God, I just looked down and I saw 3311, and then I saw 3313. So if you're seeing a lot of 11s, a lot of 33s, and a lot of 13s, these are your ancestors who are trying to tell you something. So pay attention to what you're thinking, or any messages that you get in your mind's eye, whether it be through whispers or through pictures, when you see those numbers, 11, 33, and 13s. Yeah, so that's basically it. You guys need to stop being so stubborn. Again, if you guys are Scorpios and Leos, like that I picked up here, then you guys are fixed signs, so you're rather stubborn. But things are happening much faster for you guys, so you guys need to be more flexible than other people need to be, because you need to shed more of yourself in shorter periods of time than other people need to. I really hope this is making sense. So those are your messages. I'm sorry, and I just looked down at the clock and I saw 34, 14. So if you're seeing 14s and 4s and 44s and 22, I just saw 22. Okay, a lot of repeating. If you guys are seeing repeating numbers, a lot of 11s, a lot of 22s, a lot of 33s, and a lot of 44s, and combinations of 1s with the 1, 2, 3, and 4s, those are always your ancestors. And we do have 44 here again. So I'm going to leave it there. Those are your messages. I hope that helped you and I hope it resonated. If you would like a personal reading or to donate to the channel, link in the description, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 4. Welcome to your reading. So I know I mentioned in the intro that, don't worry about the race or what the picture of the ancestor looks like that you pick from, just pick intuitively. But what I do want to mention now is that you should pay attention to the picture that you chose of the ancestor, and note that you could have a race that aligns with that ancestor in your lineage that you may not be aware of, or the main ancestor who is usually with you often and who works with you often looks similar to that picture. There's something about them that is very similar, their eyes, their hair, the way they look, their gender, the energy they give off. So just take note of whatever the picture is that you chose and what it looks like. So I'm going to start off here with these first 2 cards, and then I'm going to keep casting to continue with your message. So we start off here with Soul Love, number 33, and then we have Expansion, number 44. So the numbers 33 and 44 may be significant to you, and you may be seeing them a lot. Okay? Now, what I'm picking up with this is that this group appears to be the calmest out of the 4. And your ancestors are just simply trying to help you to take all the love that you have and spread it to your community and worldwide. Spread it as far as possible. Before casting your cards, I had a vision of fairies, okay, that were sparkling, like they're pretty bright. And then I had a vision of a car that was racing down the road very, very quickly. And it wasn't the car that was significant, it was just the speed and the direct direction that was significant. So, when you're in a car, you're moving from one location to another destination, and it was moving very quickly. This is signifying the energies of love radiating from you and spreading to different locations and different people rapidly. And I feel like you've mastered soul love. At least you've mastered self-love and soul love enough that you can now give it to other people and not drain yourself. You guys appear to have come into the Queen of Cups energy. Yeah, the Queen of Cups, maybe even the King of Cups energy you appear to have come into. And now what they want you to do is to kind of go into the Knight of Cups energy and start sharing it rapidly, indiscriminately, pretty much. I mean, of course, protect yourself from energy vampires and all that jazz, but you appear to have the capacity to help people energetically more than regular people. And there also seems to be something about helping people who have a rocky foundation when it comes to either like their finances and their security. And I don't mean you giving them money, but I just mean there's something about their foundation that's rocky, and it could be their physical foundation, like in the 3D, their monetary foundation, all that security and all that. But there's also something about them not really themselves having experienced enough love and care and assistance from people. Just someone listening to them and knowing that they care and showing up for them is going to help these people significantly. And it's something about your aura that just projects love and nurturing that really calms people down and helps them, that when they're going through a tough time, even if you can't help them with their physical needs, whether it be food, money, a job, or a home, even if you can't help them with that, just being in your presence is going to help them, and it's going to help raise their vibration. And when you're able to raise their vibration, and when their vibration raises, they're going to be able to attract a life that is of a higher caliber, that's a higher vibration. And also your energy is going to help heal their chakras. Specifically, I'm picking up their 4th chakra and their 1st chakra, their root and their heart chakra. You appear to be able to help people who have a lot of issues with their root, their sacral, I'm picking up, and their heart chakras. So people who have maybe trauma, were neglected, don't have a lot of love, or were left behind by romantic partners and stuff like that, who diminish their self-worth. And other people who are having, financial problems and problems in the 3D realm, like their structures, something about that. So you guys would do very well with working in or volunteering in a homeless shelter, or a food drive, or a clothing drive, or being working in a school setting where there are disadvantaged children, or a community center where mainly people who are disadvantaged come in. Also social work. You guys should be in those kinds of environments, because even a prison system, law, like police officers, ambulance, doctors, nurses. These are the professions that are coming to my mind. These professions won't drain you, whereas other people, they'll drain them because they have to deal with people who are troubled. It's not going to drain you, because you're going to be able to balance these people out just from your aura. You may find that people tend to calm down around you. People who are angry, even children, may be crying and angry. If they come around you and you say, okay, calm down, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. They may calm down and look at my ears are ringing. Definitely, a lot of you guys should be working with children. You may find that children calm down around you if they're crying and they're having a panic attack, or they're having a tantrum. They may be able to calm down enough to actually speak and catch their breath and to tell you what's happening. So you should consider working with people who are disadvantaged in some way. Those aforementioned places, or those aforementioned careers, or volunteering there if possible. It would be not only beneficial for you, but for those people. And underneath the deck, I do want to mention that you have this nourish card. So I am again seeing a need for you to nourish the earth with love. It may sound corny, but it's the truth. This is what I'm picking up heavily for your group. So I'm going to cast from the other deck to get more specifics on like what exactly your ancestors are trying to help you with. I just had a vision of them sort of holding hands in a circle around you, so trying to protect you, protect your energy. Loyal heart, I am getting a need for you to look at this. I am getting a need for you to help people who are disadvantaged. Here we have the to be fair in reverse, and we have the loyal heart. People who have had things happen to them that are not fair, whether it be from the law, the legal system, whether it be from society in general, from their home, the parents, the school system, any system, foster care system, any system that usually fails people. You should be working in either that system to help balance out the failures, or you should be working in the environment where these people usually go to get help after the fact. I feel like they're trying to help you, your ancestors. If you might be trying to, they're sending you a lot of signs here and synchronicities, a lot of messages they're sending you. They might want you to change career paths. Let me figure out what are they trying to do though. Maybe they're trying to help you to realize this power that you have to heal people with your energy. You guys are highly empathic. I'm picking up a lot of visions that you get in your dreams and your daydreams. Also, there's something here about things that you see in your mind's eye and also around you, whether that be on the news or in person, that is you don't like. That's a sign from your ancestors, actually. So when you see things that you don't like, you're actually supposed to see it. So if you've been finding lately during this portal from around October up until the end of November, if you've been finding that you've been seeing a lot of and hearing more about injustices and things that are just wrong, it's not a coincidence. These are your I think your ancestors are trying to get you to see these things more so that you feel more called to step up and help. It appears as though at some point you attempted to get into this environment, whether through volunteering or to change careers so you can help these people, but you dropped it. You dropped something. You probably dropped it because at the time you didn't have the emotional capacity to deal with this. But they're saying that now you do. Now, and if you find that you had to drop it because of not lack of emotional capacity, but because of maybe lack of finances, like say you were in college trying to become a social worker, for example, and you had to drop out because you didn't have the money. It wasn't really the money. You didn't have the money. You didn't have to drop out because you didn't have the money. You actually didn't have the money because you didn't have the emotional capacity to deal with these people yet, and that would have hurt you. So that's why you didn't have the money to continue with that degree. But now you're being called to go back and finish that off. If you guys started some sort of degree to do with counseling, psychology, you may have filled out an application years ago to be a police officer and they turned you down or something. You're being called to do it again, to try again. There's something that you tried previously in the past that fell through somehow to do with these kind of areas that I mentioned. You may have had to stop short somewhere. You're being urged to continue, to either go back and start again or continue where you had to stop. And this is why lately you've been seeing a lot of what seems to be sort of negative signs. A lot of strife and conflict. Underneath the deck, we do have chaos and conflict. You've been seeing a lot of things that are making you, you've been hearing them and seeing them that have been making you feel uncomfortable. During this portal, like I mentioned, all the other groups, the portal is mainly Samhain is the October 31st until November 1st. But like everything in life, for example, with peaks and troughs, the curve to get to the peak or the curve to get to the trough themselves are still higher or lower than the regular point. So that means that a few weeks before Halloween, so October, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks before, and maybe 3 weeks and 4 weeks after November 1st, the veils are still going to be relatively thin, although not as thin, and the portals are still going to be relatively open, though not as open. So this is why I felt that everyone's ancestors were still trying to get into contact with them. They're trying to help them with something, because until the portals completely close until next year. And that doesn't mean that you won't be able to hear from them and they won't be able to give you signs throughout the year between this past Samhain and next year's Samhain. But it's just that they'll be less prevalent less obvious. So they're trying to get them in as quickly as possible during this portal before they ease up. And this is why recently it appears for the last, like, again, October and November, you've been seeing a lot of negative signs, things that are making you feel uncomfortable. And you've been having more visions lately, or more vibrant dreams. These signs could have come through like nightmares. You may have been having more nightmares lately and you're wondering why. You guys need to switch jobs. It's very clear here. I mean, if you're already working in this kind of field, if you're already working in this kind of field, there may be a need for you to get a promotion. Apply for a promotion. If this company you're currently with doesn't give you a higher position, then to leave this company and go to another company that will give you a higher position, and or to go back to school to upgrade your degree so that you can get a higher position and more pay. Also, if you're working somewhere where you're stuck doing paperwork, this could go either way. Wherever you can make the most difference is where you need to be. So for some people, it could be they make the most difference when they're handling the paperwork because they're the ones who stamp approvals or deny, approve or deny things that are significant. Other people, it's not so much the paperwork, but it's being out in the field, actually dealing with these people. That's where they can make the most difference and help these people more. For you guys, I'm leaning towards you being out in the field because of your energy. You need to be around these people so you can calm them down and to increase their vibration and to heal their chakras. So if you're not currently seeing clients, if you work in an office and they're not coming into your office at least for some sort of counseling or some sort of update, like a parole officer update, if you're a parole officer, or a social worker update on their client kind of thing. If they're not, at least these people aren't at least coming into your office, then you need to be in another position where they are either coming into your office or you're going to them, to their homes, or you're going to them in the streets, wherever they are. And it's going to come, it seems like it's coming with more payoff, more money. You need to be talking to these people. You need to be around these people, guys. So you need to reevaluate your career. I don't know what you guys are doing. This is a general reading. If you're not in that field at all, you need to completely switch. And if you're in that field, you need to make sure you're around these people more. So you need to get into a new position that allows you to be around these people, or get into a new company that allows you to be around these people. Or again, update your degree. Queen of Cups. Didn't I mention you guys are the Queen of Cups? I said the Queen of Cups. Or the King of Cups. I said both, but I did start off saying the Queen of Cups. Here she is. You guys are probably water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, in your moon, your sun, your ascendant. You guys really help people who are in this Nine of Swords energy. Look, the Queen of Cups came up next to the Nine of Swords, and you also help people. She's also next to the Five of Pentacles here. People who are having financial issues or, security issues in the 3D realm, and also people who are having mental issues and emotional issues, you help them. Even if you don't give them money or a place to stay, or you don't, counsel them and help them with their mental issues or give them medication, it's your energy that you radiate that helps these people. Again, like I said, you increase their vibration, and the increase of their vibration and the healing of their chakras allows them to be in more in alignment with situations and people and organizations who can actually help them with these issues. Whereas previously they wouldn't have been in alignment with these things. So you help them align with their freedom. So it seems like your ancestors want you to know this. Some of you guys may not be aware, and you may be wondering, why am I getting so many negative signs? And there's something about them wanting you to do something new and increase your money. There's an increase of your money here, King of Swords. I'm seeing Underneath the deck, we do have the Hierophant. Underneath that, we do have the Eight of Cups. Some of you guys need to switch companies. Switch companies. Someone is going to give you more money to allow you to, and also allow you to work around these people who need your help more. There's some switch that needs to be happening, and your ancestors are trying to help you. They're trying to initiate that switch so you can, again, make more money and be around these people more and to help them. Also, it may be religion with the Hierophant underneath the deck. You may be called into religion. Again, a lot of new energy here. And underneath the deck, again, we have the Hierophant. Something, you need to change something here. But they're helping you with that. You should know what it is by now. You may not necessarily know how it's going to happen, but you shouldn't know intuitively. Lovers. You need to there's a new environment. You need to be around new people. There's something new. The Moon card, an end of an old cycle. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. A lot of you guys need to change your company. You did all you can with these people. Don't feel bad about leaving them behind, because you might be playing small right now. That might be the problem. That might be it. You guys are probably playing too small. Again, I'm picking up something about lack of education for a lot of you guys. You feel like this is what you can do. Yes, you've been helping people, but you feel like this is all you can do because you didn't finish your degree, or you don't have a certain degree or something. Your ancestors are going to open the way here with the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, and also the Ace of Wands, which is surrounded by books. They're going to open the path for you to be able to go back to school and increase your degree and get your degree if you don't have it, or to increase it, upgrade it, to allow you to get that higher paying job. They're going to open so if you've been feeling intuitively that you should apply for school and you're kind of wondering, how am I going to pay for it? Just apply. Just apply, because your ancestors are going to help you pay for it. You might get a scholarship. I just heard a scholarship or a grant, because of all the work you were doing previously. Some of you guys, this is really a specific message for maybe just a small group of you guys. I'm seeing you working a lot in some field at like a lower entry level. And because of all the years of work that you have there, you can get a reference from this old employer. And that reference you can send to a scholarship agency or committee or something like that, and they're going to give you that money because of all the experience that you have in the field. So you're going to be able to go back to school and upgrade your degree, and you're not going to have to pay a lot of it out of pocket because of what you were doing previously. I'm seeing this very specifically. So don't worry about it with this Lover's card. Whatever is calling you, a new job, a new position, going back to school, whatever is calling you, do it, because it's going to help you to get a larger position where you can make more impact, where you can be around more people, where you can help more people, because you need to help more people. You guys are helping just a few people in a small community right now, which is a great place to start, but you need to expand. I did see the car racing down the street very rapidly. You need to expand. Another thing, you guys may have fairy ancestors helping you. I don't know if they would be called, I don't think they would be ancestors, but the fairy energy is helping you, because I did have a vision of fairies. You have such a light energy that they like being around you. And they may also be what's helping you to keep your vibration up so that you can help other people. Because I saw them like they were sparkling, like shining, and they were like touching your hand. So you may feel like little brushes of your finger. And was this the group where I said I felt someone brushing my finger? I can't remember if it was this group or the last group. where I mentioned my thumb specifically. If it was this group, that's further confirmation. If it wasn't, don't worry about it. But you may feel little things brushing your hands, but I feel like the fairies are helping to keep your energies up. So that's why you're not being depleted. And they're also going to help you to not be depleted when you're around even more people with more bigger problems. Where you're going to be around more people, and these people are going to have bigger problems. But you're not going to be drained. You're going to be able to handle it. You're going to be able to handle them. Don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. I'm really seeing something about you guys working in prisons. For some of you guys, don't be intimidated if most of the prison guards there are like bigger men or whatever, and you're like a smaller female. Just your energy is going to be able to calm these inmates down. So you're going to have to use less force against them. They're going to listen to you. They're going to like you. They're going to respect you. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Those are your messages. I hope that helped you and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did. If you would like a personal reading or to donate to the channel, the link is in the description, and I will see you in my next reading.